Hello everybody, welcome back to Thomas Plays Games. I'm playing Factorio, and what I'm doing right here is I'm setting up a way to stop copper from going through the bottom belt as long as the top belt, unless the top belt has a lot of copper in it. So the unit I use is 6, so I'd have to, so what you do is you put two things on, you set one of them to read belt contents and set hold, and the other one you set to enable disable, and you use the star for 6. So I'm going to take out the middle one there, but eventually I put one on the bottom because I want all the iron to go directly to the actual circuit production. If you want to know more about that, Steejo, the YouTuber who does play some Factorio, did a really good video explaining how these things work. So I'd recommend checking that out. It's a little hard to do or to show at this speed, but it's very good. So you can see that none of the iron, even though there's still iron on the belt, it's not going through the bottom belt. And it's not going to do that until at least 6 items are heading through the top belt. So that works out that a belt can hold 8 items. So 6 items means that it's going to be essentially completely full. So unless the iron backs up all the way to that belt, no iron's going to go through the bottom belt. And that's basically what I did there. I wanted to make sure that I have all the circuits that I need before I do anything else. So that's kind of how that works. Okay. So I just finished Alien Science, which means that now I can make the Purple Science, which will allow me to get the level 3 of the module research and Power Armor Mark 3 research. So what I'm doing right here is I'm going to start producing the modules that I need for that. And this episode is mostly going to be about making modules. So I'm going to start with the efficiency modules. I do some math trying to figure out exactly how many I need. I think I'm a little bit off in my head because it was just mental math to get a rough number of red circuits and of green circuits that you need to make the modules. Because you'd need, I'm right. Okay, so you need 5 efficiency 3 modules. And that works out to needing 5 times 5 efficiency 2 modules. So it'd be 25 efficiency 2 modules. And that's 5 times that of regular modules, I think. So it basically works out that you need 125 regular modules to make 5 efficiency 3 modules. Or regular efficiency modules. So then I kind of was breaking that down to how many of each individual thing you need, because you need individual components of red and blue or green circuits that you need, and it works out that you need 5 times that of each. So 5 times 125 is a pretty big number. 625, I think, just off the top of my head. So you need 625. I grabbed 400. I might be off in one of those numbers, but basically you need a lot of circuits. So I decided to, while I'm still doing the research and still waiting on alien technology, because I guess it wasn't finished, it was just almost done, I decided to check that. So you can see me here trying to do the math. So I guess it's 4 efficiency modules, so it's only 100, so that'd be 500 of each circuit that you need. But it's still a huge, huge investment. So what I do is I'm just going to make the modules. Yep, just trying to pick up enough resources. So I got 400 of each, and it looks like, So I think you'd need 500 of each circuit to get the right number. And I just kind of end up with not the best, like a little bit off in my mental math, so I end up having to do a little extra production over what I thought I did. But what I'm doing is here, I just took 2 assembly machines. I'm going to feed the things in manually, because I don't need that many modules yet. I just need enough for the power armor. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to feed them in manually, and then allow myself to do other things while those are being produced. I start with speed modules because you can use the speed modules to speed up production of efficiency modules by adding those into the facilities. So you can just hear me doing that. I'm just looking around a bit. And just need more and more circuits, because I'm going to need the circuits for the efficiency modules right after I get the other modules. And yeah, you can see the copper is going okay. The copper production, or the throughput, is kind of low, even with limiting all output, or almost all output, to go into those circuit facilities. And the reason that is because I use a lot of green circuits in this factory, especially when I produce. Producing red circuits takes green circuits, and producing the purple inserters, I don't remember what they're called, but producing purple inserters also takes green circuits. So as long as I'm producing the purple inserters, the filter inserters, as long as I'm making filter inserters, it's going to be difficult to filter inserters and red circuits. It's going to be difficult to actually get a lot of copper going to things that aren't circuit production. And the reason I need so many of those things is because I'm still trying to do science at this point. Yeah, a lot of entities on screen, making it tough to keep the bitrate up. Okay, so got a lot of things inserting, and I got a lot of stuff in my inventory as well. Trying to produce as many processing units as I can, because I'm going to need a lot of those afterwards. This episode is all about just trying to get the stuff for the power armor. And that should give you a little bit of background on how important power armor can be to actually having a really useful and effective factory. Until you get power armor, you kind of have to do everything yourself if you're outside of the base. Once you get it, you can really start doing things a lot easier. So you can see what I do there is I take I'm taking the modules and put them back in the machine to try to speed that up. So yeah, now I'm taking those modules, trying to produce the level 2 modules, which unfortunately I didn't realize at the time, or when I started this, that they actually require processing units, which is another reason why processing units are kind of crazily important. Okay, we got those coming in. Alright, picking up a couple of those, trying to speed up the production of other things. Okay. And what I'm doing here is I think I'm trying to just get use out of all that copper that's just sitting there. It doesn't really matter. I just wanted to actually have good copper throughput as much as I could get to the next level of circuit production. Because right now, I think processing units are more important than circuits for the actual base overall. Okay, so there you go. So I got 8 level 2 speed modules, and those are speeding up the actual speed module production. And here I actually do a lot of flip-flopping back and forth between using the circuits solely for processing unit production and using the circuits for actual usage in the base. So I just kind of flip the belt output there, try to get as much processing units as I can. Since they require processing units take 1 sulfuric acid, 5 red circuits, and 20 green circuits. Those are really, really high need for circuits to get those things going. Yep, just trying to use these guys to get as many processing units as I can now. And once you start module production is when you really need copper, because of the huge demand on circuits, the huge demand that circuits place on copper, as well as red circuits on copper. It's kind of ridiculous how much copper you're going to start needing later in the game. Yep, just manually feeding these things in, trying to get as much production as I can. I'd say overall it's going pretty well. Making power armor is kind of the milestone for me, as I'm sure you know if you've been listening to me. So it's the point when I really start doing a lot of things outside the base. I'm trying to use these processing units as effectively as I can. almost done with these speed module 3s. Okay, so those are speed module 2s, and now I can try to make 3. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the research for it yet. Yeah, I haven't been using the purple science yet, so just decided to take those out. And let's start getting the actual research for speed modules 3. It's a good idea if you're doing similar to what I'm doing, where you consider it more important to have the power armor than just about anything else. It's a good idea to try and get your processing or your modules that you're going to need as quick as possible. Yeah, I took out one of the belt restrictions there because I was finding that one of the restrictions I set up on flow was actually restricting green science production. So I figured green science is just as important as blue science, so I figured I might as well let those go through. There you go. I'm gonna make the speed module 2s. There we go. That should be all the speed module 2s that I will need. I hope so, at least. Yeah, 16. So does it take? Yeah, I might need more later. I'm not too sure. I remember I miscalculated for one of these things. Okay, and I figure while I'm waiting for speed module 2s to go, I should probably go clear out some biters. So this will be the second time I actually head out in the car. Definitely not the last time I go out to kill biters. And immediately run into a rock. Let's just heal that up and keep on going. Okay, so I'm looking and seeing if I could produce a turret to help me out. Yeah, it turns out I can't. I decided to hop out of the car because I don't want to have that weird rotation issue slowing down my ability to kill these biters, since there's going to be a lot more out of the space, and you do have to do a lot of cleanup while you're shooting if you only have bullets. So cleaning up the way that I am there, where I move my mouse all around to kill them, would not be as easy to do if I was actually using the turret gun. Just kill a couple of those, back up a little bit, let them relax. I decided to get rid of the pistol because it's not helping me, and then just use the submachine gun. The best way to kill biters, if you can manage it without hurting yourself, is the flamethrower. It does the most damage, it's the most effective. I hop in the car here because I want to take out that. I want to take out the worm, and the car outranges the worm, so that's why I hop in there. Even though it's not as useful, just doing my best not to die, or not to have the car die. Because if the car dies, it's a much longer walk back to base. So I hop out there, heal it up, and I'm going to try to use the rest of my ammo to take out a few more of these biter bases. Kind of like skirting around the edges of it. Hopefully not taking too much damage. I got to avoid the worms, since I don't have any armor at this point, which is probably a lack of foresight in my part. Because you shouldn't really go fight biters if you don't have any armor. You just end up very, very quickly dying. I managed to get through all of this expedition or excursion without actually losing any life, so I don't have to reload or anything. But the stakes can be quite high, and I can tell that I'm starting to run out of ammo. I figure I'll hop back in. And yeah, so I just run over the biter and decide to drive away, let the other ones come to me. Yeah, they'll run back. Just like plowing through a few trees that are knocked down, getting on the way back to base. There go the logistics robots, going to grab me things. Like nice little robots. Okay, so I got a good number of processing units right here. Figure I'll start producing the. Oh yeah, that's one of the biters chased me two of them actually chased me all the way back. So I figure I'll start getting the actual production of efficiency modules now. Never too early to start. Yeah, the speed modules are going to be done quite soon. If just dump my alien artifacts into those assembly machines. And yeah, I flipped the belts back to allow more production of circuits into the base. Since there's not enough to effectively go. There's not enough green circuits to effectively make science, or to effectively make red circuits. So I can't make science and I can't make processing units. So I just flip those back and allow that to go. And learning from my mistake with not bringing enough armor or weapons, I decided to craft a couple things after a bit of wandering around. So yeah, I'm looking at crafting a whole bunch of different things, trying to ditch all the stuff I don't really need. Yeah, put those blue sciences down so they can actually go do something. And yeah, I'll let the logistics robots grab my crap. I don't want it that badly. Okay, so those things are going pretty well. I believe it was the efficiency modules I miscalculated on. Yeah, because I think I have 24 speed, maybe 20 speed. I'm not sure. But yeah, one of the modules I definitely miscalculated on. And I decided that the circuit production is low enough that I should just shift it all over. I kind of flip-flop the belt quite frequently in this episode, trying to make sure I got enough stuff for every part of the factory. Yeah, so there's a lot of me checking out how things are working. So right there, I was checking to see how the copper flow was going, and the circuit network is working perfectly. It's working exactly as I expect. The way that I stopped that copper from moving, it does mean that unless there's a lot of circuits on the belt, like unless there's so much circuits that copper isn't really the limiting factor in circuit production, then there's going to be no red circuit production, the advanced circuits. Okay, awesome. So we got speed module 3 is completely done there. Now these things are almost done producing, or well, I think they're pretty close to producing, and then I'll make these speed modules. Okay, yeah. So here's where I'm looking to see why circuit production, or why circuit uptake is so much by the factory, and it turns out it's these arms. These arms take enough circuits that they flood the actual production of circuits from the factory, causing a slowdown in just about everything else until they're done. So they're pretty greedy. Okay, so I want to keep 30. Yeah, I want to keep 30 alien artifacts, as many as I can, preferably, while still allowing science to go forward. So that's why I add a couple of those there. Yeah, so the circuits are going to start backing up, and then copper will start backing up, and then I'll start getting more production of red circuits because of the copper flow through again. So yeah, it looks like I have 20 speed module 2s. And I've got an okay amount of efficiency modules so far. So I'm just going to throw those in. I think I'd need 125 or 100. Well, either way, I'm pretty sure efficiency modules are the ones where I miscalculated. Yeah, so I figure I'll take those out. And yeah, just running back and forth, getting everything I need to get the Power Armor Mark II. So waiting on circuits to back up. I figure I might as well add in that or move the splitter back one, just to allow as much flow as possible into the green circuit production. Yeah, so what do we got? 77 circuits in my inventory right now. So we're getting there. And I'm looking at all these things, trying to see if they have any red circuits in there. Because I'm trying to take them from anywhere I can in the factory. So you can see copper starting to back up there. Just watching it go. And once it starts backing up, once it's done backing up, you should be able to see this. The flow go happen here. And I figure I'll upgrade all these things to blue belts because I want the copper to reach the assembly machines as fast as possible. Just ditch those things, tell them to go back into the thing, and we get a lot of belts back. It's one of the nice things about the belt setup I have. It works. So yeah, you can see the copper's backed up all the way to the circuit setup I put on the belt, and now that that happens, all the new copper that comes in is flowing directly to the red circuit assembly area. Okay, no, it looks like I wasn't at 75 yet. I must have been at 72. Missed up. I thought a 2 was a 7. Yeah, just let the robots drop off some of the armor or ammo for me. And yeah, so 76 circuits there, 77. I'm pretty sure I make 80 before I stop. But if I'm remembering correctly, you actually need 100 of those. Yeah, so now that that's done, I'm going to start making production of number 3 for speed modules. Put those into increase production, add 5 of those because I want 5 speed modules. And yeah, add the exact amount of everything that I need. So I should need 25 red circuits if I'm right. So I just grab 10, throw them in there, grab the next 15 or so, add them in. And then, yeah, looking at it, I'm like, okay, well, why am I picking this up myself? I should really just tell this thing to pick them up for me. Since I'm more concerned with production of these, of the modules than anything else, I don't mind just adding temporary things in to allow for the good flow of useful items. So yeah, for power armor itself, I think it takes 40, as it was just up there on screen. But it thinks it takes 40 processing units, which is a pretty hefty investment. There we go, number 2. And every time I get a new one, I just add it into the assembly machine so that I can get even faster production. Yep, there we go. So that's 4, and 5 should be momentary. Yeah, and I'll just restrict the chest, make sure I don't take too much. And there is the Factorio theme. I don't know if it fits the I don't know if it fits the what's currently going on in the game right now very well, but it's a very good song. Barely want to talk over this thing. Okay, yeah, so I'm needing more advanced circuits, so I figured I'll just add those in. This would be really good music to do like a montage over. Yeah, well, I guess that's what they picked it for the trailer, so that makes sense. But it unfortunately doesn't fit what's going on in this game right now. Yeah, just looking at my blueprints. Do I really need all those things? I forgot how small the inventory was without power armor. Yeah, just trying to get as many processing units as I can. And I figure looking at it, I'm like, well, I might as well just send them all down. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that I'll have enough, since I'm pretty confident in my math while I'm playing. I figure I'll have enough of the processing unit or modules that by just feeding in processing units and the advanced circuits, I should be fine. That was a fun little song.